Hi, and welcome to Lesson 11 of the Encore Music Notation Software tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to show you some ways to select items on the score. And in a way, it's kind of like a word processing program where you can have different ways to select words in the case of word processing. But here, you're selecting notes or measures or staves, the number of things, the different kind of elements that are on the screen. So let me show you some simple stuff. If I wanted to select a note, just a note, I can come up here and drag the cursor around the note. And so that note is now selected, and so I can do whatever I want to do with that particular note. If I wanted to copy it, for example, I could use the standard Windows keyboard shortcut for copy, which is Control C. So I've now copied it, and I can move it then to another location on the score. And if I want to then paste it, I can use Control V to do a paste. And so there it appears in some other location on the score, just by copying and pasting. So that's selecting one note at a time. If I wanted to do the same type of thing with multiple notes, then I could select or could drag and select the different notes by doing a copy, for example, and then putting it somewhere else on the score, just moving the notes around. And then later I could make sure that those things were all lined up correctly, that the alignment on the particular measure would look better. If I want to, I can select the whole measure, and I do that by double-clicking inside of the measure. So the double-click then highlights that, and if I wanted to copy that and put it somewhere else on the score, then I could do that. Copy and paste, just like a word processing program. If I wanted to select a group of measures, then I could double click on the first measure, hold the shift key down, and while the shift key is down, which it is right now, I could then select the second measure and do the same type of thing. I can do anything I want to. If I wanted to delete those things, I could do a Control X, and so it just gets rid of whatever's there. If I want to restore it, it's a Control Z, so it restores what the previous action was. So that's basically a group of measures. If I want to do the same thing with a group of staves, then I double click above the measure. And so double clicking in that space then allows me to create something that's going to affect multiple staves. So I could do whatever I want to. I could copy them, I could delete them, I could move them around. I could just do any activity that I would want to. If I want to do another selection of something, I just clicked on the left side of the marker there over on the left by the notes palette, the left side of the staff, and so it gives me something that I can then select just everything that's on that particular stave. If I wanted to do it for all staves, then I could double click over here. So if I double click, then it does it for all staves, and in this case it would be all treble clef notes. And so if I wanted to, then I could do whatever I would want. I could copy, paste, delete, restore, any of the activities that would be done. Let's say you wanted to affect everything. You wanted to select everything like a word processing program. That's Control A. And so by doing that, then I've now selected everything on the score. And at that point, you can do anything you want to, I suppose. You've got the whole thing selected. You could change key, you could move it around, you could copy it, you could delete it. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff. There are certain ways, things like I just said, changing key, there's an easier way to do that. And so instead of doing it here, you could use some of the options that allow you to change the key signature. Be much easier to do it that way. Anyway, those are the main ways that you can select things. And again, it's very similar to what a word processing program would look like, but it just gives you some more options and some more ability inside of Encore. So that's it for this lesson. If you want to look at other lessons, my website is listed here. You can go there and it'll give you a complete list of the lessons that have been done so far. And if you want to learn more about Encore, you can go to the Passport website, which is also listed here. So that's it for this lesson.